In this tutorial, we will be demonstrating how to utilize the Logon Dashboard within your virtual desktop environment using the VDI ToolKit. This dashboard allows you to monitor login time metrics across your virtual desktop environment. What information does the Session Logon Dashboard provide? Well, it provides daily logon metrics, logon breakdown by hour metrics, day, week, month, and quarter logon metrics, highest 5 logon metrics, and lowest 5 metrics. The daily logon metrics provide information on daily average logon, daily average user profile, daily average group policy, and daily average group policy scripts. It provides data from the last 365 days, and this can be helpful in determining if login times have recently degraded within your virtual desktop environment and when exactly they started degrading. For example, maybe someone recently added some new group policies around the same time that could have led to the degraded login times. The Logon Breakdown by hour metrics provide information on average logon by hour of day, average user profile by hour of day, average group policy by hour of day, and average group policy scripts by hour of a day. This data is also accumulated over the previous 365 days. This can be helpful in determining if login times are degraded during certain hours of the days. Maybe they are degraded in the morning when most people are logging in and could be due to disk I/O issues. Or maybe they are happening around the same time as system-wide scheduled tasks such as backups. Day, week, month, and quarter logon metrics provide information on average logon, average user profile, average group policy, and average group policy scripts for the specified time interval. Highest 5 logon metrics provide information on the highest times by user for logon, user profile, group policy, and group policy scripts. This can be helpful in identifying users whose login times are far off the averages to help narrow down the reasoning. This can also be helpful in possibly identifying users who are being affected disproportionately with, say, large user profiles, group policy, or group policy scripts. Lastly, the lowest 5 login metrics provide information on the same items as the highest 5. This can help in identifying what is different between users with speedy versus lengthy login times. Let's talk about why our charts are ugly. Okay, so that is a strong term, so they aren't necessarily ugly, and we take pride in them. So let me elaborate what we mean by that. First, we believe that data should be represented as it presents itself and should be unadulterated. So what does that mean exactly? Well, it means we use no smoothing algorithms on our charts, such as rolling moving averages, etc. Many other companies, when providing charts, are so worried about making them pretty, they modify the data with smoothing algorithms. You are in essence not seeing the true representation of data when such algorithms are used. This can lead to thinking there isn't a problem when actually there is one. We choose to focus on a true representation of data versus a pretty representation of data. We believe this will equip you with better tools to make better decisions within your virtual desktop environment. Up next, we will demonstrate utilizing the Logon Dashboard using the VDI ToolKit. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So we want to go ahead and open up the Management Console. So I'll go ahead and open that. Once the Management Console is open, I'll go ahead and expand it, and we'll want to navigate to Dashboards and Login. All right, so this is the Logon Dashboard for the VDI ToolKit, and we'll go ahead and go over some of these items. So we have the Logon Daily Metrics here, which is a line graph. And as we can see, if we highlight our mouse over, we can actually see the average logon, which is 37.82 seconds, average group policy scripts, which is 17, average group policy, and average user profile. So that's for each one of those items, how long it took to process in the login process. And it'll also give you the date of when we saw that. So if we saw a spike, we could navigate to that spike and see when that date happened, and then we can maybe cross-reference that back to our change controls within our own environment and see what was changed around that time. Maybe somebody changed group policy, maybe somebody added a group policy script, whatever. Also with this graph too, just so you know, you can actually take and left click and then highlight a specific area and then drill down into that area. And if you actually double click back on the graph, you'll see it'll navigate right back to the way it was before, displaying the full 365 days. Just to show you as well too, you can actually navigate here to the ellipsis and you could add grid lines if you wanted, and you can also show a legend. From the legend, you could then uncheck items and that would remove the items from the graph. I'll go ahead and add those back and turn that off. Okay, so next we have the Logon Breakdown by hour. So we'll see here, here's the Logon Breakdown by hour. And if I highlight over here, here's the average Logon, and that is between the hours of 10 and 11. So each one of these is broke down for the hour of the day. So you can see if there's any discrepancies in Logon times that are happening at a specific time during the day all the time. And so if I highlight over this one, we could see that's group policy scripts. And here is group policy. And here is the user profile. So as we can see here with this graph, and please keep in mind this is just dummy data that we put in, we see an uptick between the hours of 7 and 9, and we also see an uptick between the hours of 8 and 9 p.m. So maybe we're doing backups or something around here and it's causing a disk I/O issue and increasing login times, and maybe here we have a bunch of users logging in because that's the beginning of the day when everybody's starting their work, and we're having disk I/O issues due to all the simultaneous logins. Okay, next up here we have these items, which are the day, week, month, and quarter metrics. So we can actually switch this to anything that we want and it will update those metrics based off of that time period. So for day, that would be the last 24 hours, week would be the last week, month, last month, and the quarter would be this quarter. Just so you know, so you can track and identify if there's been any drastic changes within there. Right here we have the highest 5, and the highest 5, it breaks down by user for login, profile, group policy, and group policy scripts. So we can see that these are our users that are most elevated when it comes to login times within our environment. So that can help us narrow down and track down what's different with these users. Are there group policies affecting these users that aren't affecting others? Or is it when they're logging in, or what's going on exactly? So it gives you somewhere to kind of hunt and start narrowing that down. If we highlight over the highest 5 and actually click it, it'll switch it to the lowest 5. So now we can see the people that are getting the best performance with their login times, and maybe we can use those as cross references to see, like, hey, is it their profile size? Is it group policies they're being affected by? What's going on? And so that's lowest 5 and highest 5. And that, just to go over too, you can actually print these dashboards. So if you'll notice up here, we have a print, and we can actually click to print, and we could print if we wanted to print this dashboard. So I hope this tutorial has been useful for you, and thank you.